Okay,
Audio not audible.
I have started recording. I have started recording. Good afternoon, everybody. So, welcome to the sixth online class of object-oriented programming for problem solving. Okay, so there are 45 students as of now. Now, in today's class, let us continue the discussion what we had started or what we have initiated in the last class. Okay, so we will start looking into the implementation aspects of single linked list in today's class. Okay, can somebody acknowledge whether my audio is good? 123.
Sir, yes.
And now I request all those students who have joined to drop your roll numbers on the chat box. Consolidate the attendance for cross verification.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, please do that. Just to drop your
Yes, sir.
last three digits. Just to drop your last three digits roll number in the chat box. Once you are done, please mute your microphone. I think some students' microphone is still on. Roll number 172, your microphone is still on. And yeah, so only if there is a need, you please unmute it and then use the microphone. Okay, so there are 47 students as I could see. So let us proceed with the contents today. So if anybody has any problem, please use the chat box now if I'm not audible. Okay, so I hope everything is fine. Where is 124, 125 not yet joined, 126 is absent, 127 is absent, 30 is absent, many yet to join. Okay, 47 as of now. Okay, so in today's class, let us continue the topic which we had initiated in the last class. That is the introduction of single linked list and then programming aspects of single linked list. Okay, so shall I proceed? Can somebody use mic and then say okay so that I'll start?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Okay, so what is the main advantage of single linked list? Let us just let me throw up some of the questions that we have understood. So, for the rest of the 6 or 7 classes, we will be doing the entire coding part. Before digging into that, please look into the aspects. One, what is the definition of a data structure? I hope the slide is visible. Can somebody come in? Is it visible? Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Okay, so what is the definition of data structure? What is the definition of data structure? Data structure is nothing but when the user is giving different or several requirements of entities, and if user is in a need to categorically organize the data, then as a programmer we need to find the mechanism by using which the data which is supplied as an input to your program needs to be stored in the data memory. Okay, so the mechanism to do that is called as a data structure. Clear? So whatever user is giving the input, which could be numbers, which could be real numbers, floating point, or names, or whatever is the data, the input what is given by the user needs to be tackled carefully, and that is nothing but the data. And once the data is available into your program, now your program should identify the strategic methods of storing that data in an organized manner in memory. Which memory? Data memory, meaning RAM, meaning random access memory. What is that? Memory. Okay, so this is called data structure. Now, what is the advantage of data structure? The advantage of data structure is it allows the programmer to note or record the data of a specific user and also retrieve it. That means writing the data of a specific user and retrieving the data. Right? That is nothing but database management. Okay, so this is the advantage of maintaining a data structure. And in the last class, we have already discussed there are two classifications of data structures. One is called as a linear data structure, wherein we have discussed about arrays, strings, array of structures, and so on. And second is non-linear data structures. But before digging into non-linear data structures, we have understood that the representation of data structure in a linear data structure is very simple. You need to understand certain language rules, but there could be memory holes which are unused. There could be probability or possibility that you may not be having adequate continuous memory in order to store the data, specifically when you deal with arrays. Okay, so that was our main intention, to look forward for representation of data in a structured way with the discrete memories which are logically connected by a link. So this is called as a non-linear data structure. And this is the need. The need for studying the non-linear data structure is for extreme memory constrained applications. Okay, so I hope I'm now assuming that every student is clear about question number 1 and question number 2. If anybody needs any clarity, you are welcome to interrupt me now. Let me hang on. Okay, so anybody has any doubts? What is the definition of data structure? What is the advantages of it, of usage of a data structure? And how many data structures are there? How do you classify those data structures? What are the examples of linear data structures? Okay, and what are its advantages, and what is its disadvantage, and what is the basic motivation to study nonlinear data structure? So 1 and 2, is that clear? Can somebody acknowledge?
Sir.
Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So now let us look into the third one. What is singly linked list? So singly linked list is one of the category of nonlinear data structure which allows the discrete memories to be logically connected by using a link such that each node will have a single unique instance of the record along with the pointer to the next node. Only one pointer will be there. Let me again repeat. What is the definition of singly linked list? Singly linked list is a nonlinear data structure. Singly linked list is a nonlinear data structure that will allow the coder to logically connect the discrete memories which are physically not continuous, such that in each record other than the data, it will hold a pointer to the next consecutive record. Am I clear? So is the definition of singly linked list is clear? In other words, in a simple words to represent a SLL, that is a singly linked list. A singly linked list is nothing but a self-referential structure that holds data and pointer to next node. Let me repeat. A singly linked list is a self-referential structure that will hold the data of ith record and pointer to I plus 1th record. So these are different ways of defining a singly linked list. But also notice that when you are asked to define a singly linked list, you are also advised to write the singly linked list structure. And because the data, which data type it is not certain, you can probably take a simple data type such as integer, meaning what you have to do is you have to write a structure. I hope my whiteboard is visible. Can somebody come in?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, good. So I'm just writing a data structure here. This is, let us say, type def struct node followed by int, let us say x. What is this? This is the actual. Next node, next entity is a self-referential structure that is nothing but pointer to the same type of node, which is pointer to next node. So let me again repeat, if you are asked to define a singly linked list, you are advised to write mandatorily a singly linked list node structure like this. Am I clear? So the definitions of the first three things are done. I mean, the first 3 points we have done now. We are done now. Somebody acknowledge. You want me to repeat any of the above points? Singly linked list definition is clear. Somebody acknowledge.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Let me check the participants. Let me check the participants. There are 54. Good. 54 participants. Okay. Let me quickly go through the absentees list because my audio is getting recorded. So 127 is absent. Then 130. If somebody is responding that some of you are unable to join, I suggest ask them to call me post the class. I mean, after the class, ask them to call me. Okay, because there are only 6 students. I could see that they were unable to join. So let me again repeat the roll numbers of absentees. 127 is absent. 130. No, everybody in 130 is present. 130. No, 140. 140, everybody is present. 150 is 154 is absent. Balaji is absent. Okay, 160. 160. No, 170 is absent. Then 174 is absent. 180 is present. Okay. So those are the absentees which I have told, and among these students, if anybody is please mute your microphone. Roll number 43. Your microphone is on. Roll number 143. Your microphone is on. Roll number 143. 143. Okay. Now I am not getting any disturbance. Okay. So these are the list of absentees. So ask your friends if they are unable to join due to the technical problems. Ask them to give a call to me so that I can consider their attendance. Yeah, 55 now. Okay, good. Fine. So these 55. Okay, good. Please. Fine. So this. Please. Microphone. Okay. So these 3 points we have covered now. So let us look into the fourth aspect, that is how to construct a singly linked list to maintain a 1D array of unknown number of integers as the data set, prompting with the following options. So now we are entering into the programming now. So what I'll do is I'll use the application feature of whiteboard, and I will explain how to logically think in terms of writing a singly linked list program. So I request each and every student to listen to this and understand, strategically identify the logic, how you need to think from linked list point of view, and then we will redo the entire exercise in C++ IDE, which is a GNU compiler. Okay, so let me go through the problem statement once again. After understanding the importance of data structures, after understanding the advantages, after understanding the classification of data structures, and after completing the linear data structures and their problems, the problem is it demands always continuous memory. So in order to make ensure that for extreme memory constrained applications where you have very limited data RAM, there could be many memory holes which are not continuous. So designers or coders needs to come up with a strategy of maintaining the data. So we already know the algorithms in order to store the arrays, that is 1D array, 2D array, or 3D arrays. Okay. Now, assuming that you are asked to code, or you are asked to work out an engineering system wherein you have a limited data memory. Okay, so you can't just like that use int a of 100, because there is a possibility that 100 into 2, which is 200 bytes of memory, is not available right at the time of compilation if your array is defined as a static array, or it may not be available if your array is defined at runtime, which is for a dynamic array. Okay, so therefore the solution which we are looking in this course, which is an introductory course of as a part of unit 5, we will study how to code the SLL, that is singly linked list. Okay, so let us start creating it. Okay, so I'm assuming that, so let me take, assume that this is your heap. Okay, so this is your heap. Which is nothing but the unused part of RAM. Can somebody acknowledge, is my whiteboard is visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So first what I'll do is assume that your requirement is to store an integer array, which is, let us say, some int star a, which is equal to maybe let me consider the multiples of 5. Let us say 5, 10, 15, 20, and 25. I'm just taking an example. Okay, so I want to store an array like this, where in a linked list. Now the problem requirement is this. Slide is visible? Because I didn't read the entire problem. Let me read the entire problem so that you will understand what we are doing.
Yes.
Okay, good. So you are asked to construct a singly linked list, assuming that as if it is a 1D array of unknown number of integers as data set, prompting the user with the following options. What are the three options? First option is allow the user to add a node. Allow the user to add a node. To add a node, that means to add a node to the existing list, that is at the end. And allow the user to display the list. And third, allow the user to just terminate your application. That means this program, you are not doing any data processing. What you are doing is you are actually you are creating a single linked list. Okay, don't look at point number 5. So we are looking at point number 4. So in today's class, we will complete this point number 4, and every student must be in a position to write and understand how a singly linked list needs to be created. This is the objective of today's class. Okay, so point number 5 we will consider in the next class, that is usage of functions. Okay, so let me again repeat what we are doing. We are going to create a 1D array data set of singly linked list by throwing these three options to user. First option is allow the user to add as many number of nodes as the user is willing. Second is at any stage, you must give a provision to the user to display the existing list. And third is whenever he wants to stop, you have to terminate. So is the problem is clear? Is the problem is clear? Can somebody respond? 164?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So let us start. So as I said, you have to throw these three options. You have to throw these three options, meaning you can probably write cout, then as the user to press 1 to add a node. Okay, and as the user to press 2 to display the list. and ask the user to press 3 to exit. Okay, here. So now I can probably read the test choice. Okay, so what I'll do is, if has to be seen, if choice is 1, then I have to add a new node. Now all this I have to do in a while one loop because I have to run this forever. Fine. This is the end of my while loop. This is the end of while. Here. So if choice is 1, here user is willing to add a node. Here user is willing to add a node. Now, as a first step of
Sir,
phase of, yeah, go ahead. Somebody has any doubt?
sir, can't we use a switch case?
Yeah, you can. Let me use, for
Switch case.
purpose, for explanation purpose, I'm taking if else. As you said, that is a professional way of using a, menu driven application. So when we actually start coding it in online GNU compiler, we will use switch case. Okay. So now, is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what I'm doing is, outside of while one, I'm saying that my head is null. Means head is pointing to nobody. Now this is the starting of the list. Okay. So that means initially you are saying that head is pointing to null. Head is null. Now if choice is 1, and if head is null, that means you need to create the head. Yes or no? Are you following? On the other hand, in the next iteration, if the user is willing to add another node,
Yes.
at that time choice is 1 but head is not null. That means you will be in the else part. Other situations are clear. Let me repeat. Initially head is null. If choice is 1, user is willing to add. And if head is null, that means this is the beginning of your list. That means what? You will come here in order to create the head node. Otherwise, you will come here in order to add a node at the end of the list. Means already list is there. You need to add. These two cases are clear. Can somebody respond?
Yes, sir.
Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so since we are starting the first fellow, that means when head is null, what is that I have to do? I have to say that head is equal to new, what type? Node type. Okay, so let us assume this head which I have drawn here. Now let me also draw same fellow, something like this here. Okay, so let me use yellow. Okay, this is the head node. Okay, clear. So I am assuming that, let us assume here, when you are creating that head is equal to new node, so assume that you are getting you're getting some address whose size is typically size of integer which is 2 bytes in our books, plus size of any pointer which is again 2 bytes. So here you are asking 4 bytes of memory, and let us assume that memory is let us say 500. This fellow is 500.
Your voice is breaking.
Am I audible? Can somebody respond? Am I audible? Am I audible? Akshata 123, am I audible?
Sir, once again repeat.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay, good. No, I'm just
Yes, sir.
creating a head node. I'm just creating a head node, and I am assuming that the size of the head node is 4 bytes, and the memory which is available at that point is 500. Okay, so let us, I have written that 500 there in order to tell that that is your root node. Okay, so what I'm also doing is, so this is your root node, which is also called as a head node. Is also called as a head node. Clear? So technically speaking, you need to cross verify that head is not null. So if head is null, that means even 4 bytes is also not available. So what you have to do, you have to say that there is no adequate RAM. I'm just skipping that part of the code which is not required unnecessarily. I mean, we will code this, but concept wise I'm just trying to explain. I hope you are following what I'm doing. Are you following? Are you following?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So now next,
Yes, sir.
now next is I'll take the text mode, and then now I'll come to this phase where my cursor is blinking only if head is not null. So I'm assuming that head node is how much? 500. Which is not null. Which is not null, isn't it? Now what I will ask the user to enter the head node value. Ask the user to enter the head node value. Let us assume what was our earlier requirement. We have to maintain an array. What is that array? Elements of 5 multiples. So assume that user is now here entering 5. Okay, so meaning C in here, C in whatever user is entering, this is C in. Whatever user is entering, that has to be stored where? In head arrow X. Here, so this is where I am expecting that user is entering 5. That means this value here is 5. This value here is 5. This value here is 5. Okay. And because this is the first node itself, I need to make the pointer to the next node pointing to null. That means this fellow I am making it as null. That means this fellow is null. Are you following? Can somebody acknowledge? So what is that we have done? We have created the node whose address is 500. We are naming this node as head node or root node. Is my voice is audible? My voice is audible.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So when choice is 1,
Yes, sir.
when
Yes, sir.
choice is 1, when head is null, now we have successfully created the head node, and we have asked the user to enter the first element. The first element is 5. That element, whatever he has entered, we have kept in 500 arrow 5, 500 arrow X. And technically speaking, this is how physically in heap it will look like. Am I clear? So for the
Yes, sir.
question to the user,
Yes, sir.
what we will do is we will throw a message saying that head is created. See out. This says head is created successfully. Okay. So creation of head is done. Now head is now not null. What is head? Head is 500. head is 500 now. Now you are again throwing the options to the user. What are the three options? Add a node, display the list, terminate the application. Let us assume he wants to add a second node. Let us assume user wants to add the second node now. I'm sorry.
Sir.
Go ahead.
Sir, adding a node means you're demanding a 4 bytes of memory.
Yes. There is another part which is still pending.
Sir, adding a node means you're demanding a
4 bytes of memory. That is correct. Please go ahead. Correct. Maybe use chat.
no, sir. That's what the problem. I was
Adding a new node means again demanding another 4 bytes of discrete memory. Need not be continuous. Okay. Okay. I don't know who has raised. Did I answer? Adding a new node means demanding every time for one element 4 bytes of memory, minimum 4 bytes. But please notice your head creation is not yet completed. Why? Because it will be a valid head node only if pointer to the next node is pointing to null. So you are saying that your engine itself is the last bogey because there is no next node which is available. Since this is the head node, you have created the head node, and in the head node arrow X, you have asked the user to enter the value. That value is 5. You are storing in 500 arrow X, but you also have another field which is head arrow pointer to next node, and you are saying that that is null because this is the first node that you have created. Then you confirm that, say that your head is created. Okay, clear? Am I clear? Can somebody respond? So this is what we have done here. That means here,
Yes, sir.
yeah, here this fellow here is
Yes.
500, and this is what
Sir.
is the head node. Okay. Now user wants to add next node. What I'll do is line here, and then I'll start writing the other part of the code. So this is something like other part of the board. Okay. Okay. So where are we? We are in else part now. So I'm writing this part here. Now I'm writing the else part code here. Are you following? Are you following? Are you following?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what I'm doing is now I need to create another node because user is entering here. He wants to add what? He wants to add another node. What I'll do is node star temp is equal to null. Because again you have to give a birth to the new node. That means again you have to give the user to enter a new value. That means memory allocation has to happen. That means you need to request new of what type? Node type. You need to check the validity. If your temp is again null, say that there is no RAM again. You cannot do anything. You have to simply terminate here. Otherwise you are here. Okay, so no need of else. Anyway, you will be returning there itself. Assume that you are here. So this is where you have to now what? You have to add a new node the list. Means already in your list you already have a head. Okay, so for this, can somebody acknowledge use mic? Are you following till now? Are you following?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Good.
Yes, sir.
Now what I'm doing is I'll create the next node. Assume that this is my next node, and assume that the node address is probably say 750, okay, 786 some address. Okay, so my node address is physically with the value what I have imagined, it resides somewhere here, isn't it? So next what I'll do is I'll write the two fields. One is this fellow, and maybe is this fellow, and then second is